Hey, hello everyone, and good morning from Chicago. It's almost 10 o'clock in here on the 24th of August. Welcome to my channel here, Elliott Wave Cafe. We'll take a look at the wave counts and also take a look at the technical picture in the core markets. We'll also take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, a nice recovery in the markets after a 10% correction. In the middle of July, towards the end of July, we found a low here early August, and we bounced pretty strongly, almost to make new all-time highs. These are my quarterly charts, where we take a look at the larger trend in the market, and this kind of keeps me grounded to trade mostly from the long side when I look at the market. The S&P in here, you can see on the weekly time frames, comes back from a test of that 40-week moving average, and it was a 10% correction. Very nice recovery. The market is strong, and it's telling you in here the signal it is that we will probably make new all-time highs and continue to push. I don't think there is any particular reason to argue with this. You have also the Federal Reserve that just came on Friday, and he kind of gave the green light on the rate cuts. The economy, I'm not the one to be super prepared on macro, but seems to be doing okay. There are some weakness, pockets of weakness, but until they really start materializing more, I don't think that we have anything to worry at the moment. And I think the Fed has been doing a pretty good job at kind of coordinating and navigating this market since even since the COVID lows. So that's a different discussion. You can see in here the S&P continuing to be strong. You can see the Nasdaq, a little bit weaker. There is a little bit of an outperformance from the S&P 500, but we're also back above the key moving averages. So, I'll continue to stay positive. Semiconductors, they still have a bit more to go in here, right? But that chart, it's pretty powerful if you ask me. You have the Magnificent Seven again with a strong recovery. Dow Jones, so you can see that the market, it's widening it out. You get a lot more breadth. You can look at the equal weighted S&P 500 if you want to, right? So for those saying that you don't have participation, here you are. You look at the Dow 30, which is a pretty balanced market. About closing actually a new all-time weekly closing highs in here, and it's poised to continue to go in my view. So Dow Jones looking very strong. I'll show you the counts in a second. IWM, after a pretty meaningful correction, again back into that 200-day moving average, comes back with 3 super strong weeks. It's going to be hard to fight this, and I think once this gets going, there'll be a lot of appeal in here. Now, you could get a pause. I'm not saying, hey, go ahead on Monday and just buy everything, right? Because you've already had a pretty strong rally. But I would look to participate to this market from the long side as we're moving into the fall. We know the month of September, could be a bit tricky, even a little bit of the October, but once we kind of pass these couple of months, there should be positive developments next. Bitcoin, again, with a beautiful signal. I think the correction is done. We're closing here again, above previous weeks, above that 40-week moving average, and I'm sorry, about the 10-week. So to me, that's a signal. I told the guys in the chat, we're going long here and starting small, and then we're going to start to accelerate once we break about 67.5, about 68,000, this area back here. If we're managing to get above it, then we'll start to push the long side even more. But we're starting small in here with the position. Ethereum, it's got a bit more work to do, but it's heading into the right direction after this nice rejection of that 2200 level. You can also look at the treasuries and the 10-year, right? That's starting to come down with the dollar that cracked the major trend line in here, and it's dropping. This should help equities. It should definitely help gold, which continues to make gains in here. I talked about this ever since we broke above 24.5. This consolidation in here was awesome. So there should be further upside in gold and silver here. It's a bit underperforming, but this is a simple ABC. And once you crack 30 in here, I think I'm going to start nibbling in the silver longs and then add a lot more above 32. on silver. Okay, let me take you over to my Elliott Wave counts. I'll show you my S&P, Nasdaq Composite, Russell, Dow Jones. Take a quick look at IBIT, and then we'll switch to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the longer term chart is here on the S&P 500 with our second wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2. Nice rejection in here, labeling this as another 1, 2 to see if we can start to really accelerate. If you want to look at the smaller time frame here on the 6 hour, for example, you have that kind of WXY, and now you overtook the top of this Y wave. You have in here 1, 2, 3. I put on Twitter a question about this being probably a fourth wave. So even if you make a marginal new high, there is a chance that you might fall back into something like this in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to new highs, then come back again, and then go. So this period in here could be what happens maybe during September, maybe part of October, that kind of pullback before we explode higher in a larger third wave. But this is kind of my main look on there. Then you look at the Nasdaq Composite. Again, with the simple, let's call it an ABC on this one, going up to the longer time frames, right? Second wave, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and 5. Deep ABC into the 16K, nice recovery, and a similar story. We're looking for, I don't think the data is accurate here because I think it's not displayed on the chart. We might have gone a little bit higher in here, but same thing, maybe a fourth wave with another 5, then a pullback, and then further continuation. On Nasdaq Composite, Russell, I'll show you the larger labels. Wave 1 and 2, 1 flat, big flat, ABC 161.8, wave B purple versus wave A, and then your sharp drop in this wave C near the previous wave B low, probably a second wave there, 1 and 2, and then a further upside in the Russell. You can see it here also. This is, you already went above, and I'm going to take a little time here. Let me do the retracement. You're right into the 61.8, but no, wait, I think we've made a big move, and we crossed above that. I gotta connect to my Schwab. So, we already made like a 3% move on Friday, so this should be towards 78.6 already. So pretty strong recovery in here, and once you pass the 78.6, chances are that you'll continue to go. And then Dow Jones, again, look at this chart, right? So it's hard to argue with this development in here. I think we're going to be pushing higher. So I would get ready for this market to become stronger in the months ahead and start to move towards 42, even 44,000 by next year into the Dow Jones. And then IBIT, it's very similar to kind of what's going on in the S&P. I'm sorry, in Bitcoin, WXY, and then a wave 1 and a wave 2, and now we're breaking above this wave 1 top. So let me take you to Bitcoin, which is trading at about 64, 183. Let me see if I'm connected there. Show you the bigger count. Wave 1 and 2, I can go to a 2-week. This is the idea here, right? We're basically, wave 2 cycle, wave 2 primary in blue, then you have this intermediate 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a chance that that's a 1, 2, and a 1, 2, and then you're actually breaking above 100,000 in, by next year. So, I'm going to go a bit more conservative right now. Just kind of, I like the setup. I talked about it numerous times, and we're responding pretty well. And this was my signal to start to initiate positions above 62.17. Some people will argue that that's a 3-wave move. Of course it is, until it becomes a 5-wave move. And if you're starting to break back below this level, that will be my signal that the wave count is wrong. So I know exactly what I'm going to be wrong and get out and go from there. So I'm going to make a small bet in here just because we broke above that. I think, at least in my strategies, I look for that. Initiate a small entry, test the market, see what happens. Then if we start to break above here, then add some more. And then, we want to participate in this larger third wave, 4 and 5, and so on. So that's my plan in here. I'm going to stick to this for the time being, and I talk about this again every day into our updates. All right, that's Bitcoin, and then really quickly on Ethereum. I've got a question on YouTube. I've done a video on Ethereum about, wow, it must have been 3 years ago, and I talked about, I think Ethereum at the time was, if I go on a 2-week chart, you can find it. I might put a link below this video here on the description, but I think Ethereum was somewhere around $200 or something like that, and we we counted it, and we came up with this wave 1, and then you had this wave 2 pullback. See, the reason why, I think Ethereum was doing this pullback when I did that video about three and a half years ago, and then it was starting to plunge out of this correction. So then we labeled that as a wave 1. We had that wave 2 pullback, right now we're beginning to work the next wave higher. So back to kind of a weekly chart, the reason this wave 2 is here is because it's matching the low from Bitcoin. So I don't think that Ethereum front run Bitcoin. I just think that this was the final move. So it was like a WXY with the wave W being here. So the first zigzag, then you go into a small B wave, and then you do another ABC in here, and you complete wave 2, and then you start to count from here, and you go, in a wave 1, then you have a nice ABC here in 2. And now, if you want to label it like Bitcoin, you would have to do 1, 2. Let me get rid of the cursor. You would have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? But that would make it too short, or you would have to have a super extended wave 5. And I probably prefer this better, and I might switch that in Bitcoin as well. We'll see if we're reacting, the way I think. So, we go in a 1, 2, another 1, 2 through a WXY, and truthfully, I would like to see this getting taken out before I get more excited about Ethereum. There's still, quite a bit of work to do here, for it to start to convince me that it's time to accelerate. But, listen, that could happen fairly quickly. So if you look at the daily, right, kind of same, exactly same labeling, you have your ABC here in some kind of an ending diagonal, an X, and then another ABC, and now you're going probably a small leading with the second wave, and then so on. So that's why, there's really no rush in Ethereum yet. I mean, there's still things to be done. You want to kind of crack that first somehow, and then crack this level. So no rush really in Ethereum. I'll wait on this one, but I just wanted to show you kind of where my head's at when I look at these currencies and these markets. So so thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week next week, and I'll see you Saturday or Sunday next week. If you want to visit us, check the link below the video. Thanks, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.